Hello, my name is Julie Gatt and I work at Suffolk College, which we are here today. I'm the careers advisor and also the higher education advisor, and I advise students on entry to university. I also advise students on job seeking, apprenticeships and making up CVs.
Do you think that the situation today's teens face is harder than what you were put through?
Yeah, it does seem to be harder. I think going for employment is much more that, there's a lot more people going for one job at the moment. I think qualifications are more important than they've ever been. I think students, if they can get a degree, I think it's a good idea. Although the apprenticeship route is just as good sometimes. So to stay in education is vital to get that job that is your goal. So yes, I think it's probably a bit more difficult to get a job these days. There's a lot more people going for certain jobs. So the longer you stay in education, I think the better. So yes.
Do you feel that students are given enough careers advice before choosing A-levels or applying for jobs?
At the moment, I think some high school students don't get advice that they need. I think that's one thing that we need more of. Obviously, people like me who give careers advice is vital. Some parents feel quite at a loss to help their child make decisions about their future, and people like me can help them with that. A lot of students actually don't have the opportunity to talk to a careers advisor and actually go on to a careers program, which we have here. A careers program actually decides what careers are actually suitable for the student.
Do you think that students will have the right skills for going into work or colleges?
I think yes, some students, I think a lot of the extracurricular activities are important for students as well as the qualifications, because they learn team building, they learn other skills other than obviously just normal qualifications. So they need to get out there and do extracurricular activities in order to gain these skills, as well as their skills that they learn actually getting a qualification with GCSEs and A-levels and BTEC and the such, yes.
The media have suggested that GCSEs and A-levels are getting easier. How close to reality is this?
Well, I've read something in the newspapers about GCSEs being easier. I think that probably is the case. When I went to school, it was O-levels, and I think O-levels were slightly harder. I think that's why they are bringing out probably the baccalaureate, because GCSEs apparently are easier these days. They're one grade easier. So, say about 10 years ago, if you got a B, then obviously they'd get an A these days. And I think probably that is true. And I think to bring out the baccalaureate is probably a good idea. Although some people are worried that some of the subjects aren't of the creative kind, and they're mostly sciences, maths and English. So I think that is a worry for some people.
Do you feel that there could be a better communication between schools and sixth form colleges when students are applying for ASs or A-levels?
Here at Suffolk we're trying to keep in contact with all the schools around the area, so that people like me, we can go out and give them advice on which A-levels or BTECs to choose. Obviously they need to think about what they're going to do after their level 2s and level 3s, and then we can give them advice on how to get into those certain careers. So yes, I think it's vital that they have this advice. So that is why we have people here to go out into the schools. They have careers evenings sometimes. I go into a school every week at a certain time so that students can come to me and get careers advice on entry to sixth form.
Do you find that students come to you without knowing what they want to do with their lives?
Yes, I do have. Some students know exactly what they want to do. that is still, obviously I still have to give them advice on what they want to do. If they know their goal and they are able to do that, then that's fine. Some students haven't got a clue. That's okay. The thing to do is study the subject that you really enjoy and obviously that you are good at. If you can do a career that you enjoy, then obviously you're going to enjoy your life. It's not all about money. Sometimes it's about the quality of your life, which includes doing something that you enjoy. Some students haven't got a clue, and that is why we have resources here and also careers programs to find out what careers are actually suited for students.
Is your decision of giving someone a place at Suffolk 1 based on their GCSE grades, or do you look more at the person?
All depends what course they want to do. Obviously with A levels you need certain, I think it's 5 A to C's in GCSE, because obviously A levels are academic. With BTECs we move the goalposts a little bit more because BTECs are course based, not exam based, but the new BTECs that are coming in are going to be exam based. But you find that A levels are different to the BTECs, slightly different, and it all depends on the student really. If the admissions staff think BTECs are more suitable, they will actually tell them that. We also have the level 2s for students who didn't do quite so well in their GCSEs, and they are able to retake their maths and English with their BTEC.
When students join you, do you feel they have enough knowledge and preparation?
I do find that some students don't have knowledge in their progression route after sixth form, and in order to choose your A levels or BTECs you need to know what you're going to do after sixth form. So it's good to think about what you think your future will be and then backtrack, and people like me will tell them how to get into that career, and then they will then know which subject to choose. So hopefully that is the case with most students.
What is your opinion on changing in GCSE exam systems?
GCSE exam systems, well, I think they're thinking about going over to the baccalaureate. From what I've read about it, I don't know much about the baccalaureate, but from what I've read about it, it seems quite a good idea because obviously they are more difficult. And the grades, it's more difficult to get the grades. We need to be more competitive with the rest of the world, and a lot of other countries, most other countries run the baccalaureate, and I think it's probably a good idea.
We also know that A levels may change. What are your thoughts on this?
A levels may change. I think one big change in the A levels is that they are not going to students aren't going to be able to retake A levels. Personally, I think it's probably a good idea, although with some students, it depends on the student really. Some students, when they retake, they progress quite, they get better as they go on. Some students in a 3-month gap will actually improve quite dramatically. And they will say in their AS they will get a D. Very often they'll retake and they'll get a B. So that makes a lot of difference to their entry to university. And some universities won't look at retakes, but a lot of the universities that take lower points will, and that gives a student who is struggling a chance to go into university. And as the years go on, a lot of students actually improve in their academic ability.
When you yourself were in education, did you feel prepared to leave? Did you know what you wanted to do?
Yes, I did, and that has changed dramatically since I've been, as the years have gone on. I wanted to do childcare, and then I went into office work because I liked the hours, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Some people go into nursing. It's okay if you like unsociable hours. You've got to consider all these things when you go into a career, whether you want to work nights, evenings, weekends, and some jobs you actually don't have to do that, although some people would find working in an office very boring. So it doesn't suit everybody. I think if you enjoy your work, you don't really mind whether it's 9 to 5, Monday, Friday, or shift work. If you really enjoy it, I think some people just put up with the hours.